from Hayden Works. For those of you who know us, will be aware that we have some residential and commercial property spanning some 60 years between us across the USA. We're currently just under 100 residential properties and some commercial properties. We've recently made a decision to put our emphasis on our commercial portfolio. And the decision to start disposing of residential properties was made really for numerous reasons, and some, if not most, including, in our view, the way the Chancellor is treating landlords. And as I say, in the link below, there's some more details on this. Being small-time property investors, we're always very, very keen, obviously, to help small investors in terms of with their properties. And this video was primarily regarding security of commercial units. And the three areas of commercial security that I'm going to emphasize today is entrances, neighbouring properties, and roofs. One of the major areas of concern for us have been those three. And our property is nestled in the centre of Birmingham, so it's sort of enclosed between the A38 and M6 and M42 corridor. So whilst when you're purchasing commercial property, it's really useful to have a look at the transport links, security we feel should be a prime consideration, especially if you're a landlord who doesn't live particularly close to the property. And in terms of roof, I'll start with the roof because that was a really interesting one, and that was our sort of first experience of sort of unwanted visitors, and let's call these people unwanted visitors. In terms of unwanted visitors, we had an experience where our building, which is a triple story, at least 100 feet up high, had one of the skylights, which is quite a historic, archaic looking thing, removed. And obviously, clearly somebody had attempted to get into one of our units through that mechanism, and we were alerted to the fact by one of our tenants. And we assumed that the person couldn't get in because of the drop was considerable to the flat level where they would be walking. And to our sort of surprise, we were alerted to the fact that there were a lot of drones flying around and checking out property. So absolutely entrepreneurial skills of unwanted visitors rather than doing a day's work, honestly. So that really gave us the impetus to get on and start our roof maintenance project. We've had the roof totally re-roofed, and it has no easy access in for any unwanted visitors. So that was a timely opportunity for us to get the maintenance doing. The other area that we'd like to sort of focus on is obviously shutters. And our units were formerly coachworks and had major industrial shutters on the front. And whilst sort of the initial looking at them initially on purchase, you would think, oh, fabulous having shutters and everything will be fine. I think there's a few basic things that if your units do have more than one shutter that you should look at, and primarily, are they manual or are they electronically maintained and used? And either way, one of the things that I normally do if we're looking at industrial units is I will pull on the chain, the manual chain, to the override chain, to see what sort of condition that's in. And if it's moving freely and you get grease on your hand, that's normally a good sign. If, however, you've got an orange hand, I would say that possibly isn't maintained, and you're perfectly within your rights to ask the estate agent or the owner when was the motor last serviced and what is the service arrangement for the shutters, because otherwise you will have a costly expense down the road, as we learned the hard way. So that covers shutters. And finally, I'd like to move on to adjoining properties. And adjoining properties, which you may not take into consideration, it's quite important if your industrial units are adjoining another property that you almost do the same due diligence that you did on your own property, because our unwanted visitors are very entrepreneurial in terms of scaling walls and walking across skylights into adjoining properties if they're out for an opportunistic spree, let's say. So from our point of view, we've done lots of work on sort of in terms of our adjoining walls and making those secure. And whilst it's easy to put barbed wire up, note of caution, appropriate signage needs to go up, because we have a litigious culture these days where everybody is suing everybody except the person who's in the wrong. So I would say make sure you read up and put the appropriate signs up. And just finally to say, why not adopt principles that you use at home on your industrial units? I'm a very keen gardener, and one of my favourite things when we purchase property is to put a climbing rose in. And climbing roses grow quite vigorously and have horrible thorns on them. So what I normally do is, if on the industrial units I can lift either a slab or find a tiny patch of soil, I will plant immediately a climbing rose and get that going up on the perimeter walls. It not only looks good, but it is also an attractive security feature for you. And finally, never underestimate the cost and investment required to secure your industrial or your property. It will definitely pay dividend. And if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up and have a look at our other videos that are on this channel as well. Thank you. Bye.